But don't Democrat leaders tell us this isn't a problem, it never happens. Well, in Washington, the girls' 400-meter staff track champion said his win was, quote, just another day at the office. And he's right. Many of you have heard of the two boys that took 15 state titles and 17 state records here in Connecticut about 5 years ago. However, the public is generally unaware of the persistent problem that continues to explode. In Connecticut alone, there have been 4 more boys who have taken girls' titles, records, and state championships in track since. Half the girls' relay track team last year at one high school in Hawaii was male. Girls have had their teeth knocked out in field hockey, put in headlocks on jiu-jitsu mats, had their hands broken in fencing bouts, failed medical clearances after head trauma in BMX collisions, and 5 women and girls have been concussed in volleyball games. In some cases, like Peyton's, resulting in career-ending and permanent brain damage. All at the hands of men and boys emboldened by Democratic lawmakers here in Connecticut, who want to tell us it rarely happens, but when it does, celebrate it with pride. You may have seen a viral video of a boy in Massachusetts throwing a teenage girl to the floor during a basketball game. He injured 3 girls during that game, and their team forfeited by halftime. What you may not know is that he is a 5-sport athlete and had been suspended from a girls' rowing team after he sexually harassed a topless girl in the Grove locker room the previous year. In West Virginia, the boy suing the state to participate on the girls' team made several sexually explicit threats to 11 and 12-year-old girls on his team. When they told school administrators, they were ignored. In New Jersey, at the Ramapo College pool, a mom was changing with her 8-year-old daughter before a swim lesson. When her little girl suddenly asked, "Mommy, is that a man?" Beside them was a fully intact 21-year-old man changing out of a women's swimsuit shortly after he had taken multiple collegiate women's team records at their pool. There are boys winning girls' state high school titles in Maine, California, Minnesota, and Washington right now, among others. There are men who have won world, Olympic, and national championship titles. There are men who hold women's world records. Boys are erasing women and girls off of record boards every day, and those record boards now showcase men's names on both sides. The effects of this experience on women and girls is hard to articulate. I was introduced to this when my daughter competed head-to-head against Leah Thomas, and when I witnessed how she and her peers were treated by the leaders of their sport and their schools. With my own daughter competing head-to-head against Thomas, I saw the tears and the struggle of her and her peers, and I watched as strong, confident women became frightened and quiet and stopped believing that they could depend upon their coaches, parents, and leaders to do the right thing. The women were silenced, told to ignore their instinctive reaction to injustice, fear, and discomfort. They were emotionally blackmailed and told that the feelings and well-being of a man were more important than their own. We are teaching our girls to become submissive, and that being born female means accepting a life of being unfairly treated and deferring to the wishes of men. We are creating a generation of domestic violence victims believing that their harm is not significant so long as a man is satisfied. Telling women that they are responsible for carrying the mental health burdens of another is wrong, and every week I hear firsthand what happens as we are putting our women and girls through this. The stories, the numbers, and the impacts are absolutely heartbreaking, and they are staggering in volume. When we tell our girls that they are more valuable as tools of affirmation, as shields of protection for men, when we tell women that their accomplishments, their desire to win, their hard work, and their feelings need to be set aside to make someone else feel better, we damage them psychologically. This is abuse of women. Sport is a microcosm of society, and women's sport is a reflection of how we value women in society. The fundamental question being asked right now is, do women and girls deserve access to fair sports? And the answer is a simple yes or no. In summary, this issue is not complicated. It is actually very simple, but it is contentious because the concept of gender identity is in direct conflict with the objective reality of sex. You have to choose one, and the more we pretend to ignore that, the more women are hurt. When it comes to a woman's sex and a man's gender identity, you cannot protect both. You have to choose. You can choose to respect the identity of a man in a woman's prison, or you can protect the right for women not to be caged with males. You can protect the boy who wants to take a spot on a girl's team, or you can protect the girl for whom that spot was designated. You can protect the man who wants to change in the women's locker room, or you can protect the women who deserve to be able to know they can be assured they are undressing without male presence. You can give women the right of consent to male nudity, or you can give men the right to expose themselves in protected women's spaces. You can protect women's sports, to celebrate female athletes and recognize women as champions, or you can use women's sports as a place to compare women with less talented males and to teach women that men must be prioritized. You simply cannot do both. Sex is real. It has enormous impacts, especially for women. You cannot hide or obfuscate sex and its impacts in life, and not also sign up to obviously hurt 51% of the world's population that are born female. Sex has enormous impacts on society, but especially for the safety and well-being of women and girls. Thank you.